Awesome.
Yep. Yeah. So let me just go over a little bit of what I'm saying is that that we have all these wars going on in the world. We're focused on one, which is something to be really interested in, that the one focus of the war is the white European focus. And that what I'm calling for is a new aesthetic, a new way of living our life like art, as beauty, as right relationship and sacredness with all of life, with an interconnection. And um, that is the divine law. You know, divine law is not two. Divine law is that everything is connected to everything else. And so when we look from that law, where are we creating disconnection in our painting? Where are the colors of our life not connected? Where are the things that we do, how we speak, what we wear? So when we always focus on those things, that what's wrong and what needs to happen to fix it. It's like Bucky Fuller said, you know, you don't change an order. Several other people have said this too. By changing the existing one, you create a completely new paradigm. So the global peace talks are to create a new paradigm, and each week we look at a different aspect of how to do that. And so looking at the fact that we think the war is out there somewhere, but recognizing, no, it actually lives in my nervous system. And how is my nervous system doing now? Because I have something to say and I have ways to calm my nervous system. I have ways to downregulate, to co regulate, to connect with other people in a way where I'm really present and attuned with each person I'm in, that I'm not operating from who that person was yesterday, that I'm entering with curiosity and wonder and not knowing who this person is, so that we can create something that wasn't predictable. And so that's what I'm calling out, is that this sense of the divine law of absolute interconnection and no separation, because everything is connected to everything is connected to everything else. So how do I paint my life moment to moment, um, as an expression of love and beauty and reverence, and being a living aesthetic? To just have that in my mind, you know, when you hang a picture on the wall, and that one's crooked, and you look at it and you notice, oh, it's not right, right, and it's not at the right height, and it's not the right place. There's an aesthetic that's a balance that we can see, we can feel. The more attuned we are to our environment and to other people, the more we can see that right relationship that is integrous. Because aesthetics, you could also say aesthetics are ethics. And I'm not holding it like a morality, because that's too much like, you know, we can have this is moral and this isn't, or, you know, get into a right wrong. But I'm talking about at a higher level of ethics, that we are consistent with this divine law that says not to, that it's all connected. And so, you know, the human soul is so hungry for beauty. We've seen enough ugliness in politics, ugliness in greed, ugliness in people, you know, being on the big screen, and you know, ugliness of consumerism and all the things that, you know. But when we look around and see the trees and the rivers, and so much to connect us to beauty. My friend John O'Donohue, wrote a whole book on beauty. It's a wonderful book if you ever get a chance to read it, by John O'Donohue, and just an inspiring book about that. So if you look at the individual level of this. Conflict starts with upset. Upsets lead to conflict. Conflict leads to war, separation, alienation, and much worse. But what is an upset? Let's just look at the anatomy of an upset. What is an upset? Just think about that. First of all, I'm going to say that mostly what you're upset about is not what you're really upset about. It's an unwitting reminder of something from the past. Something that happened that, because you wouldn't know to get upset if it didn't come from the past. So it's obviously something that's similar from the past that we are entering into. And there's three main sources of an upset. The first one is undelivered communication. Now, if we're living a life, an aesthetic life, and we have an undelivered communication, what is there to do if my life is to paint beauty in the world? It's to deal with the minute I see that I have an undelivered communication that's keeping me separate from divine law, not to, then the first thing I do as an artist is I figure out how to communicate that way. That's not blaming somebody, but that's recognizing that there's an undelivered communication that needs to be addressed. The second area that creates upsets, which is where the whole thing starts, is unfulfilled expectations. Oh, I thought we were going to go here, or I don't say anything, and then I just let whoever it is I'm with know I'm not happy about this. But of course, I didn't say anything. So look and see any place that you have unfulfilled expectations of other people, of your family, of your husband, your wife, your partner, your children. Because if I'm painting my life, then I want to deal with those unfulfilled expectations and get them out in the open so we can negotiate. I'm not saying that conflict's bad. In fact, William Ury recently said, who's probably the greatest conflict negotiator on the planet, said we need actually more conflict. But we need more conflict that's conscious so we can bring out the issues and actually work with them. So if we're carrying around the baggage, the weight of unfulfilled expectations, we're not living an aesthetic that's consistent with our soul. This is being out of sync with our own soul. What you were born into, all of these thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of ancestors, all the way through time, you started and you were given your job. People are always looking for their purpose. You're born with your purpose. Your ancestors gave it to you. This is the work that you're here to do. It's not like find the right job or start the right business. It's do the work that I've been given in the life that I've been given. So I'm handling my undelivered communications, my unfulfilled expectations. And then the third one is your thwarted intentions. What do I mean? I had an intention to make something happen and something caused it to sidetrack. I was going to do this and start a restaurant and COVID came along and, my intentions were thwarted. How many can think of the places where your intentions have been thwarted and stop? And then how can I meet that with love, with reverence, with curiosity, and paint that into the picture of, oh, I'm learning something here that I didn't know. I'm opening to something rather than to get angry and close down and have conflict with the people I was working with, but I'm opening. So it's always about opening. Yeah, I'm going to just open it up for comments. I think I said enough. Anyone want to say, yeah, but what about this, or anything that you want to question? What am I talking about? What's an aesthetic? How does this apply to my life? Anybody want to just jump in? This is an interactive opportunity here. I don't profess to have all the answers. I just like to engage on these questions. Nanette, did you want to say something? No, it's good to see you. Okay, so how are we doing on time? Yeah, Greg, please.
I just want to say I've always known how important beauty is, and this is like really illuminating of like how that could be, given that we're all like sort of co-creators. Um, love it.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. It's beautiful. Yeah, and to do that, we really have to challenge our narrative. I've talked about this before, the narrative of who I think I am. Because I talk about the narrative creates the circumference of possibility. It literally is a cocoon in which we live. My story. I don't think about my story, but I am my story. I speak through it. The world lives inside of my perception. So we think that we're perceiving reality, but reality is a function of our perception. That's really important to recognize that. Reality is a function of our perception. It isn't that I look out there and I see reality, tree, road, car. So when we're challenging ourselves as an artist in life, that my life is my art. It's the highest art. There's lots of expressions of that. You can paint, you can, do all kinds of things. You can juggle, whatever your art is, you can do all kinds of things. But it's like, do I meet life as Greg is saying, yeah, do I meet the beauty in life with the beauty that's inside me, that I was born with the original goodness that I was born with? Or am I living, in a sinful, oppressive world of some of this religious, original sin? Original sin. You ever hold a baby? Do you see any original sin? St. Augustine had a really good way to collect taxes, control people, and justify taking native lands. That's what that was all about. The doctrine of discovery. The doctrine of discovery means we can go anywhere if we're white and take people's land, basically. And it's the basis of our law in many areas. Look up the doctrine of discovery if you haven't ever connected with that. It's shameful. Right, Destiny? So, yeah, enough talking unless somebody has something else to say. You know me, I can go on. Yeah, Rose, please.
Hi.
Hi.
I just want to thank you so much for this focus, because I think because we've been educated to be practical and efficient, we think that beauty is a luxury that we have time for, maybe, but I think the way you're reframing this is that actually beauty is about survival. And it's what makes life life. And to what you said, to kind of train our perception to meet the beauty in life with the beauty that is within us.
Yes.
Whatever happens in the outer world, if we're able to hold that sense of beauty, it's a kind of preservation of the best of life. Even though we can't control the external circumstance, we can control where our attention is. So I feel very inspired and supported by what you said, and I thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Rose. That's great. I love that. I'd even substitute the word miraculous for preservation. It's a miracle. You know, we're a miracle.
But I just want to add, it's miraculous, but we can't think of it as a distant and maybe will happen miracle. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It has to be,
No,
it has to be like, it's a miracle that we enact moment by moment, and that's always accessible to us.
That's right. And I don't know if you were here a week or so ago, I was talking about emergent versus non-emergent. So the miracle is emergent. It's happening moment to moment to moment. It's like when I'm painting the canvas, what I'm happening is coming from my body and my heart out through my arm, and it's going into the paint on the canvas. And that's a miracle to me. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you, Rose. Yeah. Hi, Jane. You want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say how absolutely awesome this has been.
Oh,
And particularly when you talk about the anatomy of an upset, undelivered communication about what is it that I wanted to say and it's not being heard right. And so and how much of this is, I think of our ancestors as living through us, and the words that you said about we are here now to be able to shift that reality. And it's like this amazing, if we can come from this amazing net of life, the all of the net of all of the rhizomes and everything that's underneath of the roots, and then the branches that extend up into the sky. I mean, this is the life that we have been, born to appreciate. And if I can come into this inner sense of this aesthetic, and I also think that the unfulfilled expectations go back into the past.
oh,
And
absolutely.
it's and the things, and I love the way you use we too, instead of me versus you, it's we too. And I think of the fellow from Australia who really delights in talking about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you, Jane. Yeah. What was I was going to say something about that. Oh, one of the other barriers that this identification with self creates is this artificial separation. So for me, to to create beauty, you don't create beauty alone. If I create beauty and nobody sees it, then it misses something. It's not connected to something. But if I create beauty in my communications with you about my unfulfilled expectation, that's something is going to happen that wasn't going to happen if I hadn't said that. So it's all relational, but it's not two.
Exactly.
All relational, but it's not two. By the way, I'm excited about a new course I'm starting next week on relational intimacy. If you get a chance to listen to the masterclass, if you didn't hear it the other night, it's a free masterclass. But I'd love to have you look at joining us in the relational intimacy. Lady, would you put the link up for that?
Yes. Also, I think Ayana had her hand raised. So
Okay, Ayana. Thank you. You have to unmute. There you go.
I have to unmute. Yeah. Yeah, it's really feels like another way of looking at the world, you know, and I love undelivered communication and unfulfilled expectation. You know, that what we're holding back could complete the picture.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, completion is the word. You know, that's that moment to moment aesthetic is one of being complete. And the minute there's something that's not said or done or felt or heard, it causes a break in our connection to the world. That's beautiful. Thank you, Ayana. That's great.
It's really beautiful. So when you're talking about creating, like creating a painting, you know, so when we're not communicating, there's something missing that can be expressed that can complete the painting, you know, the creation. So, yeah, and for us to express it in a positive, you know, in a way that will add to the whole, you know, so it's really beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. There's the poet Basho has a wonderful line. He says, "There's no such thing as a throwaway gesture." There's no such thing as a throwaway gesture. Everything we do and say and express has meaning, has impact, has either connection or disconnection. So every word, every movement, every breath is an opportunity to create beauty. And that beauty ripples out in the field of the world. And that's how we have a strike on war, you know. Destiny, hi. Gotta unmute, love.
Hi, Michael. So good to be here with you. I wish I could get here a little sooner. I just got out of yoga and I was like, he's there. I got to hurry up.
Well, you're here.
I have a question, or I guess I'm wondering about, I know you're pretty wise and I'm dealing with something that seems kind of difficult, but I know I can do it. It's with regards to forgiveness, like forgiving what would seemingly seem like the unforgivable, forgiving something that really, really hurt and really, really went on for many lifetimes. And I'm at a point now where I've realized that it's about me forgiving and being the, I don't want to say the bigger man, but the one that's willing to step up and be strong enough to forgive.
Yeah, this is, you know, it's a very important point you're bringing up. First of all, you don't forgive the unforgivable. You forgive the person who is in the line, because hurt people, and it passes through lineages. So what you do is love and love the person, but you also, you know, make it clear that there are things that are not in the divine law. It's not to make somebody wrong about it, but you know, the forgiveness is not justifying the behavior of someone. It's recognizing their humanity and your connection to their humanity. And that way you can keep your heart open. You know, I'm going through this murder trial. My wife was murdered, you know, 40 years ago, and they just reopened the case and captured him. And we're really looking at, you know, how to forgive and hold that. My daughter and I, you know, she was 4. So I'm not forgiving the actions that were done, but I also see a human being who, you know, has suffered greatly. So I can hold that in a way that, you know, we're really interested in restorative justice, and my daughter and I, and how can we, you know, have this be an opportunity, and yet we've suffered a lot from it over the years. We have had a lot of pain around it. So yeah, I hope that helps.
Yeah, there's a lot of frustration, within me, like frustration for the for the unjust. You know what I mean? I have to come to that term of what happened has been unjust, but just compassion for it, I guess. Compassion,
See,
forgiveness.
it's not the thing that happened, Destiny. It's not the trauma or the drama or the painful things that happen. It's the stories that we made up about the painful things that happen are causing the suffering. So the work to do is to deconstruct the story. This happened a long time ago, or maybe even recently, but it isn't happening now. But when we have trauma, it shows up like it's happening now. When I work with vets, they're in Vietnam when they're triggered and when they're in the story. They're, they're not back there. They're in their past that's frozen in their body. So being a witness allows them to, being an attentive listener allows them to integrate that, so the past becomes the past and it isn't running them now. Does that make sense what I'm saying? You understand?
Oh, that's good. Yes. I knew I could trust you for that one. Thank you.
Thank you, Destiny. Very nice. Okay, if there's not any more, I think I'm ready for a little breath work. How about you, lady?
Yes. And you were talking about what happened, and just your daughter is here, Sasha.
My daughter is here. Where is she?
So acknowledging and saying hi.
Hi, Sash.
Hi.
Can you turn your camera on and say hello to everyone?
You always put me on the spot.
That's what dads are for.
Hello.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Thanks for being here.
You're just in time for the meditation.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so we're going to start out with the breath, and then we'll go into a meditation, and then pull it all together. So, lady, I'm going to enjoy your amazing breath work.
Sounds good. All right, everyone. I'm just going to mute everyone, and we're going to get started here. And I'm just going to put a little bit of music in the background. And just taking a moment to close your eyes. I'll invite you to close your eyes and just take a moment to feel the posture, if you're seated, if you're lying down. Just taking a moment to connect with your body. You're here right now. And this is a space to just be you. There's nowhere to go, there's nowhere to get. Just take a moment to observe your breath as it is right now and as it is not. Just natural inhale and exhale through the nose. Relaxing your face, your jaw, your eyes, perhaps maybe squeezing the eyes a tiny bit, a couple of times just to relax them. We are going to start with a really simple exercise that will bring you into the body, deeper and deeper into the body. So whenever you're ready, you're gonna start with 5 seconds inhale into the nose. You can count faster if you need to. 5 all the way up. And then once you get to the end of the inhale, you're gonna exhale 7 seconds out, elongating the exhale. There's no rush. You've probably been rushing the whole day, just taking a moment to slow down and feel into the breath. Thoughts are gonna come and are gonna go and are gonna come and are gonna go. Just get really focused on your breath. Inhale for 5 and exhale for 8. Just feel the beauty of the oxygen getting into the body and the beauty of the exhale getting out of the body. Find your own rhythm. Inhale all the way up, 5 seconds. Exhale 7 seconds out. We're gonna go for a few more rounds. Really landing in space. Could you feel that artist within? The art of breathing. Few more rounds. Inhale through the nose for the count of 5. And exhale for the count of 7. In the next 6, inhale. You're gonna inhale all the way up. Forget about the counting, all the way up. Holding the breath for 4 seconds. And then you're gonna exhale through the nose all the way down. And one more time, inhale all the way up. Holding the breath at the top of the inhale, 4 seconds. Sweet exhale all the way down, slow. And last one, inhale all the way up. Holding at the top for 4 seconds, perhaps maybe a little bit more this time. And then exhale all the way down. Just maintaining your eyes closed and just getting into that space to keep feeling into the body and just noticing if anything shifted. Maybe there is presence now. Maybe there is more space to go within.
Beautiful. Let's just continue in this lovely spaciousness that Lady has created with us. And just go into the inner world. Notice the sense of spaciousness in the body. Now the breath allows us to expand our capacity, our inner capacity. Just noticing the movement in the body. The tingling maybe in the hands or feet. The flow of energy through the body. Just really tapping into the inner aliveness. All the different organs are working. All the different systems, digestive system, nervous system. All these different systems, the heart pumping the blood, enzymes and different secretions, all going on inside the body. And then take notice of any place that you can't feel any movement, where there might be some numbness. And just notice that. Could very well be frozen past. So we go to the outer edges of the places that feel a little bit numb. And we just feel around the edges. Soften our awareness. And just feel that area, or those areas. And you might also feel some tension, some pain. Just building our inner capacity to feel. And then moving our awareness to our emotions. Can I feel any emotions? If so, what's present for me? Joy, compassion, fear, anger, sadness, grief, shame, guilt. Just seeing if we can get a sense of maybe some emotions that seem to be with us quite often. The kind of go-to emotions. And just notice your awareness. And shifting our attention then again from the body and the emotions to the mind. Noticing, is it settled? Is it calm? Or is it busy and grasping? And just still. And do the mind and the body and the emotions feel synchronized, in alignment? Sometimes we feel one thing, we have another experience in our body, and we say something entirely different. Are we in alignment? Then I want to take a few moments to imagine myself as the artist of my life. What are the words that are my words that create peace, joy, happiness, lightness. Just noticing that words are colors on my palette. The words I use are the paint of my artistic creation in life. And notice the emotions that I often experience. Do the emotions connect me or disconnect me from life and others? Can I be authentic about my emotions? Do I feel safe enough to express myself, my inner beauty, my inner artist? And how does my body feel when I'm creating life? When I recognize that life isn't doing it to me, but it starts to move through me. That the art of my life is spontaneous and alive and natural and emergent. And present. And how that presence creates creativity and innovation and new ways of seeing through the eyes of an artist. And just imagine yourself in your day if you lived your life as it were art. What would that look like? How would you be expressing yourself? What would you be doing? Who would you be connecting with? How would you be expressing yourself? And just sit with that for a moment. And I'm going to read a poem, my friend John O'Donohue, true artist of life. And just let it wash over you. As the fever of day calms toward twilight, as the fever of day calms towards twilight, may all that is strained in us come to ease. May all that is strained in us come to ease. We pray for all who suffered violence today. May an unexpected serenity surprise them. For those who risk their lives each day for peace, may their hearts glimpse providence at the heart of history. That those who make riches from violence and war might hear in their dreams the cries of the lost. That we might see through our fear of each other a new vision to heal our fatal attraction to aggression. That those who enjoy the privilege of peace might not forget their tormented brothers and sisters. That the wolf might lie down with the lamb. That our swords be beaten into plowshares. and no hurt or harm be done anywhere along the holy mountain. And no hurt or harm be done anywhere along the holy mountain. And as you're ready, just let yourself move your fingers and toes and come back in and take a look at your fellow artists here. Just feel into this beautiful community that we're creating. Each of us artists of life. It's time to end, but I'm willing to, if a couple people just want to say some words, I'm willing to go over a bit and spend some more time here. Anyone have anything they want to say about their experience or what they discovered or noticed or felt, or just to hear your voices? It's lovely to be with you. Thank you so much. So much love to you all. Oh, Melissa has her hand up. Hi, Melissa.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for your beautiful words as usual. I literally was going through a box of books today and found one titled Peace, 9 Fruits of the Spirit. Thought, that's odd. I just got an email that there's a peace meditation tonight. So it says, the quote, this one's sort of biblical in nature. Just peacemakers who sow in peace raise a harvest of righteousness, from James 3:18. This other one reminds us that if we view ourselves as unlovable, it will be hard to love our neighbors. So what is the one thing we can do for ourselves that we could do for one of our neighbors? And then in this book, Extraordinary Relationships, A New Way of Thinking About Human Interactions by Roberta Gilbert, MD, her chapter on conflict talked a lot about the fact that, now I lost the page, sorry, about how people are often, when there's conflict, want to do the blame thing, and self-care sometimes seems selfish, but it doesn't have to be selfish if it can help you find peace within, to find that forgiveness, to see things with a fresh set of eyes. I certainly don't mean to sound preachy, because I don't know, what do I know? But I appreciate being here. Thank you for having us and for sharing your wisdom.
And you know everything you need to know. We all do. It's just a matter of...
Really beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, if you get a chance to listen to the masterclass, it's up, and Leda, you put it in the...
Yeah, I put it in the chat, but I'm just gonna put it again.
The one thing, if you look at one thing that is at the heart of all war, all transgression, all suffering, everything, it's a lack of relatedness. And I'm really focused on that now, and I'm excited about this new class. So I hope some of you will join in and be part of it. But at least if you get a chance, listen to the master class. I think it'll hopefully inspire you. And with that, thank you all for being here, and we'll see you next week. And we may be moving to alternating with Wednesday mornings and Thursday evenings on opposite weeks, but I'll send out something, so watch for the flyer. We'll let you know how we're going to do that. So, and Lede, thank you for your beautiful, as always, breath work. And thank you, Sasha, for being Alex, for being my amazing daughter. It's really nice to have you here. Blessings. And we'll see you all soon. Okay, stay in touch.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone.
Michael.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you
Bye.
so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.